Hello from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm excited to be here today. So, I don't know if you've read my blog yet or listened to the pod, but today's blog is a challenge. So, my husband and I were at the chiropractor a couple of months ago, so at the top of December. And our chiropractors are so awesome. They just love the Lord. They're on fire for Jesus. They're full of joy, full of energy, and just all about like enrichment through daily habits and the body healing itself. So it's always just so amazing to be there. So we went there, and Dr. Mark, Dr. Liz is his wife. They own the practice and run it together. He always does a weekly newsletter that we find on the seat of our pre-adjustment chairs when we do our pre-adjustment exercises. And so this particular week, Dr. Mark was talking about starting new habits in spite of it being the holiday season. And he was talking about some habits at the end and kind of just saying, you could stop eating sugar or do daily movement. And then all of a sudden I read these words that shortly, unknowingly, would completely impact my husband and I, both personally and our relationship. And it was no TV during the week. And my heart leaped a little bit when I read that. So on the way home, my husband and I were kind of mulling this over because we had definitely gotten into the habit of watching TV, a show or a movie every night after our son went to bed, like literally until we fell asleep. We got too tired and we just went to sleep after that. So we knew that we had this habit formed, and we also knew that it wasn't enriching our lives really in any way. We love watching TV. We love watching films. We love to talk about it. We get really excited to connect in that way, but just kind of this repetitive, long-wind, no moderation watching TV definitely wasn't filling us back up, and we knew that. So we knew we were in a season to take on this challenge. This challenge changed, literally changed our lives. We started gobbling up books. We started doing a Bible study together at night. We started praying together. We just started connecting intellectually and spiritually, which just increased our intimacy within our marriage. And I started doing a watercoloring workbook, and I started doing some sketching, and I would just throw on a podcast and just do some watercoloring, and it just started making such a huge difference for us. So with Nash, I still, most nights of the week, I'm still heading over to his little room and to his bed as he calls for mommy. And that's just the toddler season that we're in right now. And so I don't get to get up either I get up with him in the mornings, because every time I get up without him, he knows, and he'll just wake up. So I've just enjoyed the sleep, and I, with that, don't have a morning routine, which has been one of my hardest changes with motherhood, is not having that morning time by myself to fill myself up before I can pour into others during the day. But what I have noticed is that because I'm refilling during the evenings, it is carrying over into my mornings, which I never probably would have believed if someone told me that in the past, that it could do that, but it really is true. I'm not needing that in the mornings as much because I am filling myself up at night, and it really is carrying over to the morning. So that's really been a radical change, game changer for me as a mom, without having that time in the morning by myself. So it's just been so wonderful that I had to share this with all of you. If you feel convicted while I'm talking about this, or it's made your heart leap a little bit, like, oh my gosh, I should try this, I really encourage you to do so. There's a few tips I will say before you start, because the first week it was a little bit like saying no to a sugar craving the first couple of days. And so I have a few tips on where to start. So number one, if you're going to replace TV with books, pick a book that you are super excited about, because this will really help with the distraction, with that little craving that might come up, that little sugar craving feeling. So if you have a great book you're going to be stoked about, you're going to be excited. The second one is explore new hobbies. Explore, if you haven't watercolored before, or you want to do handcrafts, or you're knitting, or you're sewing, or you're making little felt animals, which is something I really want to do this year. Explore doing it. Music was always my creative outlet. I never really tried anything else, and it wasn't until homeschool that it's made me really have to branch out and do crafts, and I actually love it so much. And so I got a watercolor workbook. The link is in the blog. It's by Emily Lex, and I've really been enjoying that. I'm not I don't find myself particularly talented or that it comes naturally to even sketch or paint, but I've just been going for it, and it's been so relaxing. So I really encourage you to check out some hobbies if you have some, and just find something that you really like to do. You can just pop in a podcast, listen to music, and or even have your husband read out loud to you, which I've done too, which is really, really nice way to connect. So and then the third one is journal about your experience. I find myself unable to talk about how well I'm doing without saying, also, this is because I am not watching TV during the week. So it's really reflected over in my journaling. So that's been a huge blessing, and I just get so excited about growth in these areas that I naturally want to share it with others. And I just love growth. It's so amazing, and I'm so thankful that the Lord, He created us to grow. He really created us to grow, and we can grow in Him, and He will prune our branches and they will grow back with fruit, and it is just exciting. So that's what I have for you this week, is the TV challenge. I would love to hear if this, I don't know, you felt a little conviction or your heart leap a little, or I think maybe I should do this. I'd love to hear from you. I don't have Facebook or Instagram or any of that. I just have my YouTube channel now, so you can comment, but always feel free to email me. I do love getting emails from you guys. It gives me a lot of encouragement as I go to move forward in writing these, and it just means a lot, and I love to hear how you're doing. So you can email me at hannah@dbhcreativeco.com. My blog's at hannahmcguire.com. My podcast is the Hannah McGuire Podcast on Apple Podcasts right now, and this is my YouTube channel. So share it too with a friend if you felt encouragement from this, or maybe you want to try it with a friend or your husband, or you're single and you get a group of gals or your best friend to do this with you. But it's fun to have a buddy to do it with. So I'll talk to you all soon. Have a blessed day.